For those of you that dream about coming to Alaska, you better make sure you got your big boy pants on before you get here. Typical Alaska fashion, day one. Here's our trail. This ain't like anything you've done down in the lower 48. And let the games begin.
This is an adventure to say the least. Like, nothing's easy in Alaska. So now we're gonna get in the Cessna 206 over here. This is all our gear. This is only for 2 guys, mind you. The amount of gear that goes into these trips is crazy. This is it, this is Alaska, and this is the adventure, so let's go.
The local people here are rugged. They're tough. They have great knowledge of the environment around them. And they're in touch. You know, they're really in touch with nature. They spend a lot more time outdoors in this stuff and, you know, for generations. And every trip I do here is different, from coastal to mountain and in between, but they all offer the same level of unforgiveness.
That's it. The last of civilization we get to see with this plane taking off right now. It's always the exciting part of one of these trips.
So yeah, it's just this perfect little chunk on the side of the bluff, right on the edge. Yeah, so it's a cool little spot.
Yeah, sounds like it.
But he has to leave that either every morning, evening at some point to go up to get water.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking either if we can get up there early enough, he might be up where all of his family is getting water, and we intercept him on the way back. It's a really, like I said, it's a nice trail.
It's Alaska nice.
Yeah, it's not a.
Don't be fooled.
It's not a Colorado hiking trail.
Yeah, I've heard this before.
Nothing's easy here, ever. But we're pretty excited. We luckily got a break in the weather. Got blue skies. Hopefully that'll stay. This is the flattest ground that we're gonna see today. So with that said, let the games begin. The guide doesn't believe in breakfast. He just believes in foraging on your way. Roots and berries get you through the day. We're just getting started. You know, I always tell people, but if you're a hunter, you'll get this. During hunting season, I find an extra gear. I don't know where it comes from, but if it wasn't hunting season, I'd have a lot harder time hiking this mountain, but it's hunting season, and I don't know if it's your mind is preoccupied with getting to the hunting site and finding the game and all that, so you're not actually thinking about the hike as much. Maybe that's it, I don't know, but I find a gear only one time of the year, and it's during hunting season, and I kick it into that gear, and I can do things I can't do the rest of the year. So for me, that's one thing I look forward to, is I find the Superman in myself during hunting season.
But as we get a little higher, we'll get into another type of moss called star moss. And it has massive healing properties, and also coagulates blood. And so the bears know that. So if they get wounded, they'll take that star moss and they'll pack it in their wound to coagulate their blood, and it makes them heal faster.
Alaska is really interesting because it is actually a temperate rainforest, and you can see it here down low. There's moss everywhere. Everything's covered, you know, in green and lush and everything. And as you climb higher and higher, there's a point in elevation where you break out of that rainforest. And then it becomes more of an alpine climate. So it's very diverse and very beautiful, but it's also very unforgiving. So, but we like that. We didn't come here for easy, so we aren't going to get it. We literally have goats 20 feet up over this ridge. We'll see goats. We saw them from behind. Now we'll start getting close now that we can ID them.
The hardest hunts, mountain goats certainly up there because they live at the top of the mountain in the worst, you know, possible scenario, hardest place to physically access in many cases. But I've been on deer hunts here and moose hunts here that had equal issues, you know, with access. It's always about access. The animals like to live where we cannot get.
Goat that is out, we ranged him 310 yards, but he keeps disappearing in a little gully and kind of poking back out, zigzagging somewhere. Let's see what happens here. See if the stars align. The wind's great. Super stable as long as he comes out in the right spot.
Nice shot, Dad.
You see him drop?
Oh yeah, you smoked his ass.
I saw him drop.
Every time I come to Alaska, I'm left with the same thought that I will be back. And you know, there's so much land and so many animals as a hunter to encounter with, to experience. I could spend a lifetime up here and probably only scratch the surface. But Alaska to me is special because it is in effect like the final frontier that we have in North America. And it will pull you in. You'll fall in love with it, but at the same time, it is a physical test every time I get here. You know, I'm not getting any younger, nobody is. So like, you got to go out and do the hardest hunts that you possibly can do while you can still do them. And Alaska will give you that. You know, it is amazing here because you look at all this and you say, how do I survive here? And then you take a walk through the woods and you know, you see berries, you see signs of life, you see animals everywhere, and you're like, all right, well, this all makes sense. Like this ecosystem survives on itself. And if you can get in sync with that, then, you know, you could survive and thrive here in Alaska. But for me, Alaska is special just because you're walking where no footsteps of humans have ever been, you know, and That's what keeps me coming back.